If you found yourself disappointed by A House of Dynamite, allow me to introduce you to a classic nuclear thriller that not only stands the test of time, but also delivers a gripping narrative that A House of Dynamite struggles to achieve. Imagine a world teetering on the brink of nuclear annihilation, where a single mistake could spell the end of humanity. This is the chilling premise of Sidney Lumet's 1964 masterpiece, Failsafe. High above the Arctic reaches of North America, a squadron of nuclear bombers soars through the sky, their crews awaiting orders. Suddenly, a cryptic code flashes on the cockpit's machine, leaving the crew stunned. The message is clear: attack. As the pilot tears open a sealed envelope marked Top Secret, the target is revealed: Moscow. The bombers adjust their course, and the world seems to hold its breath. But here's where it gets even more unsettling. This isn't an act of aggression. It's a catastrophic mistake triggered by a computer glitch at a military base. This is the heart-pounding setup of Failsafe, a film that dared to challenge Cold War audiences to question the unchecked proliferation of nuclear weapons at a time when amassing such arsenals felt like a necessary evil. I revisited Failsafe recently, not just to remind myself of its brilliance, but also to cleanse my palate after the underwhelming experience of A House of Dynamite, Kathryn Bigelow's Netflix release from October 24th. While A House of Dynamite attempts to reignite the conversation about nuclear threats, it falls short in maintaining the tension and delivering a satisfying conclusion. But here's where it gets controversial. In an era where political analysts warn that the threat of nuclear war is higher than ever, why do so few films or TV shows grapple with this existential dread? A House of Dynamite tries to buck this trend by thrusting nukes back into the spotlight. But does it succeed? The film opens with a gripping first act, as radar systems detect an intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, of unknown origin hurtling toward the U.S. Analysis quickly reveals its target, Chicago. Government officials grimly calculate that the blast could kill 10 million instantly, with countless more succumbing to radioactive fallout. With only 19 minutes until impact, evacuation is impossible, leaving America to scramble for a solution while staring catastrophe in the face. Olivia Walker, Rebecca Ferguson, a senior officer in the White House Situation Room, embodies the urgency of the moment as she and her colleagues race against time. The tension is palpable, but then something strange happens. The film stretches those 19 minutes into nearly 2 hours, replaying the scenario from multiple perspectives. What begins as a taut thriller devolves into a meandering narrative, with generals and officials engaged in a bizarre Zoom call, and a bewildered U.S. president, played by Idris Elba, struggling to make sense of the chaos. The tension dissipates, the script loses its edge, and the ending, or lack thereof, has left viewers frustrated and divided. And this is the part most people miss. While A House of Dynamite portrays the crisis as an external threat, Failsafe delves into the internal flaws of human decision-making and systemic failures that could lead to Armageddon. In Failsafe, the tension never wavers. The drama escalates to a climax that forces characters to confront their choices and the systems they've created. Adapted from a best-selling novel published during the Cuban Missile Crisis, the film explores themes of accountability, hubris, and the absurdity of nuclear deterrence. The title itself, Failsafe, refers to the safeguards meant to prevent accidental nuclear war. But as one senator ominously asks, who checks the checker? This question resonates even more today as we grapple with the accountability of AI and automated systems. Failsafe also presents a complex cast of characters: a general horrified by the weapons he commands, a political scientist obsessed with eliminating threats, and a president, Henry Fonda, who discovers his authority is meaningless in the face of protocol. The bomber crew, ordered to ignore all commands once their mission begins, illustrates the chilling concept of the human button. Soldiers trained to execute nuclear launches without hesitation, reducing them to automatons in a doomsday scenario. This idea is central to Deterrence, but it raises a provocative question. Would soldiers truly follow such orders without question? History offers a counterpoint, like the 1983 incident where Russian officer Stanislav Petrov defied protocol and potentially averted nuclear war by ignoring a false alarm. While A House of Dynamite portrays a world where deterrence fails, failsafe digs deeper, exposing the internal risks posed by human fallibility and overcomplicated systems. Early in the film, a scene of Air Force pilots playing pool highlights this tension. One pilot laments that younger pilots lack individuality, saying, "You open them up, you'll find they run on transistors." Ironically, the speaker is Colonel Grady, the very embodiment of the unthinking human button. But here's a thought to leave you with. In a world increasingly reliant on automation and AI, are we any less vulnerable to the kind of catastrophic mistakes depicted in these films? What do you think? Are we safer now, or more at risk than ever? Let's discuss in the comments.